My name is Esther Kim, a painting and drawing major at UNT. My preferred mediums tend to be oil paint or charcoal, but I strive to explore and learn new methods and ways of doing things. Thus, my artwork is a bit erratic in its methods of creation. As for its subject content, my artwork tends to be an attempt at expressing things I cannot say out loud. Growing up, I was not allowed to speak openly or exhibit any sort of negativity. My artwork is a type of therapy for myself and an attempt to reclaim negative emotions in order to understand myself more clearly. I enjoy psychoanalyzing myself through what I create. One of my paintings, titled Anxiety, features one of the first things that my mother gave me, a hair clip. As she is not my birth mother, my grandma warned me that if I was not the perfect child, I would be kicked out. As my family often only did things to maintain appearances, I felt that if I were to slip up, things would immediately fall apart. A hair clip is supposed to hold your hair, and therefore your appearance together. It was a gift, but it has almost a threatening appearance here, like some sort of Cthulhu rising from a nest. It feels like it appropriately matches the towering and lurking anxiety I felt growing up. With the burden of being the perfect child, I became a perfectionist that would overload themselves with work in an attempt to garner approval. I could stay up 4 nights in a row and eat only an apple in the span of 2 days if it meant I could accomplish my goal. Addiction uses a jawbreaker as a metaphor for this habit. A jawbreaker is a huge task that's more grueling than other confectionaries. It's tiresome, but I can't stop hacking away at it, hurting myself in the process on the pieces. Addiction is a part of my series titled Bittersweet. The series is in reference to the bittersweet taste that my childhood has left in my mouth. It had a lot of regret and resentment, but also many instances for which I am grateful for. It displays the results of this rocky road childhood, i.e., the habits and traits I gained, using various sweets as a metaphor. It alludes to the sweet tooth I have, a result of the stress eating I do to cope with my anxiety. I especially love sweet fruit juices. Juice Fiend is titled after the nickname my ex-boyfriend gave me after noticing how much juice I drank. The overflowing cup represents my need to chase after as much happiness as I can, even in the small things. It was meant to be a more positive piece. Another piece that's meant to be on a more positive note was my piece Daily Dose. It is a drawing of my various pill bottles. I used to be on over 800 milligrams of medication a day, a combination of various antidepressants, anti-anxiety, ADHD, and sleep medications. It helped, but it also made me feel less. I eventually stopped taking my medication, and the information on the pill bottles on this piece have been changed to the names, addresses, and birthdays of the various people who help me live a bit longer every day. Consumption is a funny thing, though. I'll switch from eating nothing at all to everything I can get my hands on. The kitchen is supposed to be a warm place, a place you get nutrition, a place that keeps you stable, but my relationship is erratic with it. I remember how sometimes my mother and I would eat on the floor of the kitchen, and how sometimes she'd forget to feed me at all, and another time she threw a table at someone in a hysterical fit. This piece takes multiple photos of the same kitchen overlapping each other, and uses the lines to create a sense of chaos from an origin of something that's supposed to be comforting. Dolls are also supposed to be a form of comfort. I have quite a few of them from when I was a child, and the ones I continue to buy today. However, they can also be disturbing. When I was younger, I would tie up my Barbie dolls and lock them in a box in my closet because I couldn't stand the way that they looked at me. I drew this doll of Bugs Bunny staring at you from a chair and kept my observation lines to emphasize the feeling of observing and being observed. I feel that this idea mimics my relationship with my general childhood. It continues to haunt me, and I continue to look at it for explanations. Although my childhood plays a lot into my artwork, I have recently tried to also focus on things that happen daily, how they affect me and my thoughts on them. As my art is supposed to be therapeutic, I attempt to give myself a voice in day-to-day things, something that I didn't really have as a child. This is an attempt to step forward in the journey of healing and understanding myself. It's getting a little easier, was done after a sudden and recent drop in my mental health that caused me to cry every night. Overall, my art is an attempt to explore who I am. It is to reflect, to heal, and to grow. Sometimes we outgrow things, captures this desire. The Tamagotchi was a relatively famous game that was popular when I was a child. I couldn't afford to play it until it was already out of fashion, but I still enjoyed it. Eventually, I abandoned my virtual pet for other things, but I find myself liking similar things to it to this day. We cannot escape the things that we have endured, but it can grow with us to make us who we are.